baby. Tuesday. Get y'all woke up today. We'll do something a little different today. Instead of taking a bike ride, we're gonna go work out. All right. Show you some of my secret recipe exercises that'll change your body in weeks. And trust me, if you're friends with me on Facebook, go back to my Facebook from last year. I literally transformed myself in 2 weeks, baby. So I'm gonna walk down here. I got my coffee, pre-workout, you know, caffeine. I don't really put anything else in my body right now, so it'll work. But I'm gonna walk down there, and then I'll be back. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Wake up, baby. It's Kaiser, and a little bit different episode this morning. I'm not out in nature. I had a really rough weekend riding bikes. I took Grayson all the way on a boat ride, and you know, we have a trailer for that he rides in, and the wind was blowing so hard on the ride home, I literally felt like I was gonna die. So, needless to say, when I woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, my whole body said, hey bro, you're 43. And I decided to, tried to sleep in, but that ended up into meditating for about an hour, and now we're here. So, what do I want to talk to y'all about this morning? What do I want to try to change in y'all? I want everybody to understand that, and I really want you to think about this, about where you're at in your life, and how much truth there is to the fact that thoughts really do create our reality in the way we live our lives. Really examine your life, right? Where are you at in your life? Are you very successful? If you're very successful, you're probably one of the people who, you probably came from a good family, so you had a pretty good vibration going on at home. You know, your parents didn't fight and scream and argue. It was a mellow atmosphere that you could enjoy yourself, you could express yourself, and you know, your imagination could run without being distracted by, you know, adults being adults. So you probably went through your life with, you know, you're imagining, you know, you wanted the brand new car, you wanted the house, you wanted all that stuff, because maybe you didn't grow up playing sports, maybe you didn't grow up doing the things the other kids were doing, so you were into yourself, your imagination, and you were into getting the better things out of life. So of course, when you went through life vibrating on the vibration you were, you had different friends who didn't go down the path of partying and drinking and doing this and doing that, because your thoughts weren't making you that type of person. You were going down the path that you picked to go down, so you associated with the people pretty much on the same path. And that's basically what happens in life, and you really have to explain it to your kids when they want to be the kid acting up, they want to be the kid doing this, doing that. It's not about punishing them, right? It's about sitting them down and talking to them. You really need to start talking to kids like they're adults today, not like they're children. You know, when we teach kids like they're kids, they just act like kids. You really have to sit them down and maybe let them watch guys like me or anybody else that you can find on the internet or YouTube that is maybe trying to reach out to help our youth today. But really sit them down and look at my life, right? I grew up in a family where alcohol was a big deal. It was around, it was a part of everyday life. The loudness, the arguments, the chaos, the neighbors fighting. Like, I grew up in a town that was just chaos. The vibration of that place is horrible, right? Horrible vibration. So I grew up with thoughts of partying, breaking laws, fighting. You know, these are the thoughts that I had in my head as a kid. Not as a really young kid, but as I started growing up and seeing what was going on in my own neighborhood, getting to know the guys who were 18, 19, 20 or older, and just looking at them and thinking that they were like the cool guys because they were drinking up on the dam and, you know, they would fight and protect themselves. at a very young age, I got accepted, I got to see that. Like, one day I got to see one of my cousin get smashed in the face with a beer bottle and literally just cut this dude's face in half, right? I was in shock, right? Guess what? That happened at the cement dam near my house where I grew up in Collins Lakes, New Jersey. Guess what happened to me in my 20s? I was up there one night, and this girl was up there in her car, and there was a bunch of people hanging out. Just me and one of my friends, Greg, and there was a couple of black kids, and I'm not racist whatsoever, so nobody take anything into what I'm about to say next. But, and then there was a white kid who liked to portray as he was a black kid. And, they were really giving this girl a hard time. And all she wanted to do was go home because it was getting past her curfew. We all have parents. We all know what that feels like. So I simply tried to be the good guy and just talk to these guys and be like, hey man, why don't you all just let this chick roll out? Why don't you move your car? Let's get her out of here. Well, out of nowhere, the kid starts just getting mouthy, and I'm like, oh man, I don't want no problems. Well, kid behind me, black kid, hit me in the back of the head with a 40 bottle. A 40-ounce bottle. Yeah, the big ones. The white kid hit me with a Molson ice bottle, the green one with the real thick glass, right in the face. And guess what? I had the same slices all over my face as I seen when I was a kid. Now, is that a coincidence, or did my thought process of growing up get me to that point? It was my thought process that got me there, right? So you really have to explain to your kids now, while they're young. And you, parents, are the breeders of the thoughts. So if you're a parent who's running around drinking all the time, you're a parent who's letting your kids see you drink all the time, and it's a big part of your life, and your friends drink and everybody drink, guess what? You're pretty much raising kids who are going to drink, right? How about all of us parents grow up and admit that alcohol is not good, it's bad, and maybe we should try to keep it away from our kids. Even if we like it, maybe we can disguise it or do something, or just don't do it around them. Won't that make the most sense here in 2018 with Jesus? Like, really, come on, let's really think about this. Alcohol is gaining momentum. Like, I see every day a new alcohol invention, like convenience alcohol. Like, hey, you could bring me in a pack and take me here and take me there. Why are we trying to create products now that we can sneak alcohol into everywhere, right? It's crazy. So please understand, your life goes as the way as you are raised, and the biggest thing is if kids are watching this, and if you have these parents that I'm talking about, understand that you need to ignore them. You need to understand right now at a very young age that at one point in time or another, they're not going to be here to protect you. So how about you just start taking control of your life now? How about you behave? How about you stay away from the party crowds, the guys who want to go get in trouble, the people, yap. Please understand now, right? We all grow up with an ego because of what we're watching every day on TV and the internet now, and we have this crazy ego, and I had the craziest ego in the world. I didn't think my SHT stunk, and I was pretty much a loser portraying to be a successful business guy, but I couldn't put down the habit to become that successful business guy, right? So during my awakening, it's created the guy I needed to be back then today. And I have achieved so much in the last year and a half. So that's what you need to know now. If you're young, if you get this baby right now, I don't care what age you are, if you keep the thoughts happy, you keep your energy up, and you're just doing what you love. If you love your bicycle, stay on that bicycle as much as possible. And stay in it right then and there. Don't think about what you're doing tomorrow. Don't think about what you did yesterday. Stay right there, guys, right? You gotta live in the present moment. Don't let thoughts come into your head. Don't do it. It takes practice, yes. If the thought comes in and it's a bad one, just let it go. Just throw it away. Right? If your dad yelled at you yesterday, don't worry about it. Don't even think about it. Act like it never happened. I promise you, you'll have a better life. See, I dwelled on things as a kid. I started asking my questions, why am I treated this way, right? Why doesn't anybody in my family show emotion or affection or love? What was going on? At a very young age, I started like really realizing that, you know, without my mom's love, I don't know where I would have been, right? My father never even told me he loved me until I started saying it to him, to try to get it out, to try to rip it out. Because I had to transform my own mother into that type of person that said, I love you. And I started to see my mom get emotion as she got older. And thank God for that moment. Mom, I know you're here. I know you're here. I love you. I know you're here. So today, everybody just really think about what you're doing with your life, right? And this is more about your kids. You know, if you're an adult screwing up your life and you just can't get it together, you know, I was you. And what was it that was stopping me? It was my thought process and my ego and thinking that running around drinking and chasing girls and doing this and doing that and doing this was the most important thing in life. Most important thing in life is happiness, and truly drinking alcohol all the time and getting up the next day hungover is not happiness. So think about that every time you think about drinking alcohol, and maybe your life will start going a lot smoother. But, you know, it all begins with your thoughts. It all ends with your thoughts. The happier your thoughts are, the happier you're going to be. So I hope you all have a great Tuesday. I'm going to work out and show you a few exercises. I'll put clips in here and there. And that's for all the people who want to get in shape. You know, this channel is going to be a lot of things all wrapped up in one until I kind of figure out what my message is. I know my message is I hate alcohol. I know my message is that I understand that we're being kind of pre-programmed to live the life that we live. So, it's time to work out, baby. Tuesday, let's get it. Everybody watching. Back in my heyday, my ego day, I was a very steroid-driven guy. I was very big, and nowadays I really don't care about that. So I'm in the gym, I ride my bike. I do this more for health. But I want to prove to y'all that being a vegan, you can still have an amazing, beautiful body. And I'm going to show you a little bit of exercises. This is my cable cross exercise that I've shown a lot of people, and when I do it with them, they're like, oh my God, I've never felt that before. So I'm going to show you the 3 positions that I do, and then you can adapt it in your workout, try it out, let me know how you liked it. I start up high first. You don't want to ever go too heavy, right? Form is key. Form is 100% the most important thing in working out. So, bring your arms back. And just feel that stretch. And when you come, make sure you squeeze your chest, right? Squeeze. 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 Right? So, I'm going to show you real quick, and I'm going to do my workout. Try to drop down to about, with the 10s up there, kind of chest length. I'll come to this height, right? Same thing now. Let your arms stretch back. And bring it all, right? See the control? It's all about control. So make sure you have your weight right. Something I learned a long time ago. When I was young, in the early ages of working out, I saw this guy in the gym, and he was in very good shape. Probably professional or amateur bodybuilder in some which way. He was in really good shape. And he was doing stuff so light, and I was like, I stopped and I talked to him. And he said, man, don't be like, you don't have to throw heavyweight. Like, control is key and your mind is key. I didn't know what that meant back then. Know what that means now. Now, you did the middle. Now, these babies right here, these suckers will murder. So, sometimes you gotta do these ones a little bit lighter. I'm just gonna leave the same weight. But what you wanna do, and you can do it 2 different ways, and you'll feel the difference. One way is just kind of bring it up like that, right? And sometimes I'll like kind of bring it higher. Bring it higher. But the lower, you keep it, right? The more you'll feel your chest at the bottom, really rip it up. It makes that muscle contract. Try that out, let me know how you like it. Do probably, you want to really feel it? Do 3 sets of 20 in each position. You'll feel it. Let me get my workout in, and I'll come back with another exercise. All right, let's be honest, right? There's that one thing that no matter what, you got biceps, you got triceps, you got calves, you got traps, you got shoulders, right? If you don't have abs, you're just not happy, right? I know, let's be honest, we all want a nice stomach. So if y'all want that stomach, here's my ab workout. Very simple. This has never done me wrong. I've been doing this for decades. And when I go to gyms, I'm the only person I've ever seen doing this. And it works better than anything. So, it's a whole bunch of different ways you can apply this. It's a cable cross machine. In your gym, if they don't have straps like this, they will have a tricep rope. Grab the tricep rope, hook it up, put on a weight that you can handle, test out the weight first. You know, but what I like to do is just grab this, right? And if I want to do my upper abs, like way up top, just a little dip and squeeze, and you'll feel it hitting them, right? Now I want to hit all the way down, right? All the way down there. It's really important that you really flex your abs and just hold it. All right. So I do a bunch of those. I normally do my abs until, I don't really count. I do them until I know that I'm hitting them. They're burning, I can feel it. It's uncomfortable. Then I stop and rest and go to the next set. But sometimes I'll do 50, 60 reps at a shot. I'll just get into it. But I also go like this. Tuck to the right, tuck to the left. That'll work your obliques. And you can even do that on my pie too. Like that, and like that. When I go like that, I can feel it right there, I feel it. Now another good oblique exercise, trying to get rid of those love handles. Just hold it like that, and just duck sideways. I promise you, if you give those exercises a shot, do that for 30 days, add it to your routine, do it every other day, give your abs a little bit of time to breathe and rest, and I promise you, you'll start to see them in 30 days.